Runcorn in the northwest of England is a town like many others. It also happens to be the town where I spent my teenage years and the town where a lot of my family and friends still live. Over the years, like lots of other towns in the UK, it hasn't had it easy. The town centre, once a bustling hive of social and industrial activity, has found it difficult to survive. But unlike other towns, Runcorn has got a secret that could turn things round. Hidden amongst the back streets of Runcorn Old Town is a key that could unlock Runcorn, releasing its potential and building on its proud history and change the future of Runcorn forever. This film is about how together we can unlock Runcorn.
Runcorn is a unique place, a unique town, because it's surrounded by waterways, not rivers that take the occasional punter up and down, but commercial shipping lanes, if you like.
And because this was a hub just off the Irish Sea, everything came across from America and everything. It became into Liverpool and then it was distributed. How would you distribute something? You become inland, and to become inland, you've then got to build a canal.
Unfortunately, as time has gone on, one of the major arteries of this canal system has been closed off. That, in effect, has made Runcorn a cul-de-sac. A cul-de-sac not only for the boats that go up and down, but for people that the boats brought with them.
Right, so we'll just do a single stroke, okay?
This group of young people are from the Canal Boat Adventure Project, a local project set up to help young people in Runcorn.
That's it. That's a cool one. Right.
Coming on the canal, they've learnt about what's around them that you wouldn't think in Runcorn. There'd be all these lovely creatures and stuff. Stuff about the waterways and the history of the canal boats as well is fantastic.
They take you on so many trips and everything. It is incredible.
It's not like every day you get to go on a boat, is it?
Today the kids are getting a tour of the closed section of the canal to learn about its rich history.
You've come down the Bridgewater Canal now, and what do you see? A brick wall. Not good. In the 1800s, that wall wouldn't have been there.
If we can open this canal up again, we can reopen the artery, which will allow people and boats to come through the town. That will then regenerate the town to what it was in its glory days.
Restoration of the locks will return use to an historically important part of our industrial heritage. It will also create two new canal routes called rings, one small, taking in the River Weaver plus the historic Anderson boat lift, and a larger one involving the Shropshire Union Canal. But most importantly, we will be creating the Runcorn Ring.
This small little navigable circle takes you through some of the most historic sites.
In the mid-18th century, the 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, who owned a number of coal mines in the north of England, wanted a reliable way to transport his coal to the rapidly industrialising city of Manchester. He commissioned the engineer James Brindley to build a canal to do just that.
James Brindley was an 18th century architect and engineer known for canals and the development of canals, and he's the guy who built the Bridgewater Canal that the Brindley sits on. How we came to be named after him is down to the public, actually, because we thought it'd be nice if we asked the public to name the centre when it opened up in 2004. And also James Brindley was kind of like a free thinker type guy. He was self-educated, and we thought that was a nice idea that, you know, somewhere creative be named after something like that.
Opened on the 17th of July, 1761, the Bridgewater Canal was part of what was the greatest canal undertaking in the world. Its success inspired a period of intense canal building in Britain, known as Canal Mania.
They had to queue up with their horses, with their children. A week was a long time to a boater. They started building communities here. They started building houses. Schools started taking the children in to the community. And that's how Runcorn survived.
This is my great-grandfather. That horse was his mode of propulsion. All my family from way, way back lived, bred, everything they ever did was on boats. They got the cargoes here, they were told where they were going, They bidded for them, whatever which way they got a cargo, and then they went, and boy did they go. They didn't stop. They travelled through the night, they didn't stop. That was their living.
I was born at the bottom of Runcorn Canal Lock in the horse boat, the original horse boat, Margaret. On my birth certificate is the boat's name, the horse boat's name, Margaret.
And mine's the same on my birth certificate, and it's on my driving licence as well.
The worst part of it for children on the canal, they didn't go to school, see.
Yeah.
There'd be 6 out of 10 at least that never went to school, you know. And they grew up, couldn't read and write, you know.
When the war was on, we never knew there was an air raid on if you were in a tunnel till you come out at the other end and searchlights were going and bombs dropping.
The old line of locks in Runcorn fell into disuse in the late 1930s, and they were finally closed under the Ship Canal Act of 1949.
A gentleman at the time who was also a councillor and a boater and an engineer advised the council about how to go about filling it in.
There was several of the chasms down at the bottom of the locks there. They filled them with red sand.
If ever the canal needed to be opened up again, it would be relatively easy because the sand would protect the original integrity of the canal. It would preserve all the stones.
You can actually see the lock. You can see where the lock gates are here. The stone's already cut out. You can see where the bottom lock chambers are. You'll see on the other side of the railings a massive big basin. I want to convert that basin into a marina.
There's a lot of big job providers around, like there's the big call centres and stuff, but you find that they're quite short periods, so they can get a job for 3 weeks, a couple of weeks, and then they're back onto the dole and stuff. There's no long, full, secure jobs. It's month, year contracts, sessionals, 0-hour contracts. It's not what they need to get a proper career.
We do try whatever we can to try and get industry involved, build on employment, etc., and try and attract inward investments. And we've had some success, but it's slow. As you can imagine, it's slow, and especially with the challenges that we're facing now, the economic climate that we're in, it's extremely difficult. But I personally believe that we've got a lot to offer. I think the canal, as we're talking about it today, is an asset to us, and we should exploit that asset.
If boats are moored up along there, as in the 1870s when the canal opened, people will walk into the town to get their provisions, to have a look at the historical sites, and that will then regenerate the town. More people are likely to invest in the town if they can see that it is a going concern.
Remember the house I said Lord Bridgewater built? Here we are, we're right by the house now. He built the house to oversee the construction, and he had the biggest party in the world. We're hoping to convert that property into a maritime museum and heritage centre. We now come down the canal right to the very end, to the very final lock, which has brought you to the level we're at now, the Manchester Ship Canal.
Canals have been successfully restored across the country, including in Birmingham, London and Manchester, bringing in extra revenue through tourism and new local facilities.
The reason we're making this canal a reality is the fact that one of the roads that linked onto the old Silver Jubilee Bridge is earmarked for closure, and that was the road that was stopping us from making our dream into a reality. And the reason they're closing that road is because there's another crossing at the moment being constructed, the Mersey Gateway, big consortium, millions of pounds, and it's happening in Runcorn. So somebody somewhere knows that we've got a good future.
Runcorn is situated between the bustling cities of Liverpool and Manchester with easy access to 2 international airports. It's 2 hours by train to London, as well as being situated on the edge of the Cheshire countryside and the North Wales coastline.
If we regenerate the town, then my grandchildren will be able to say, I come from Runcorn. This town will be a place that you'll be proud to live in.
So you know what to do. Unlock Runcorn. Please give your support to the campaign by signing the petition. It only takes a few seconds and it could make a real difference to the future of Runcorn.
If we just sit back and don't do anything, If we miss this opportunity to open up the canal, I don't see a future for Runcorn at all.